All right, guys, we're here today with the man, the myth, the legend. Is it Solon South?
What?
Is it Solon South?
Is it for me?
Yes.
It's not Solon. You know the
It's
name.
Nolan North.
How you doing?
Doing great. I'm doing great. I'm here. He was the reason I went to SacAnime in the first place back in 2013.
Right.
So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. Just that's how big of a deal he is in this industry.
I don't really quite get the connection with why he's here today when he was here in 2013. We've already done this.
Yes.
We just did an interview.
We did not interview.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
somebody.
we're making up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
4 years later.
It's great, man. 3.5.
3.5.
years. 3.5, 4 years later, time flies, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, I was right out of high school the first time I met you. All right. So
I wasn't.
Tell us about how you got into acting in the first place. You don't just do voice acting.
How did
you
I
do
get
all
into
kinds
acting?
of acting.
Yes. Oh, God. Process of elimination. I had done just about everything. No, growing up, I never really ever thought about being an actor. I wanted to be a professional baseball player. That was my
nice.
goal, you know. And I went to college for that. And it's funny. It's just I did grad school for reporting. You know, being a news reporter, and I did that for about a year. And I was living in New York, and I was miserable. And I had done some plays in college too, just because I had a class. I had to get some art credits, things like that. And it was fun. And then I did some stand-up just for a goof. It was actually on a dare. And I was in New York, and I said I might start doing that again. And I had a friend who had a play that I knew in college in New York, and he said, "Hey, come do this little role." And it was there that I really kind of fell in love with the whole process of it. And I just made a life decision at some point where I think I was about 24, where I just said I'd rather be broke and happy than get a paycheck and be miserable. So, unfortunately, now I get to do it. There was a lot of years of being broke, but now I have the paycheck and the dream job. So
now you got an IMDb list longer than the Great Wall of China.
Well, it's yeah. I'm still working on it, though.
Of course.
That's the thing. That's the one thing that's the blessing and the curse of being an actor is, while you're happy, you're never quite content with ever being done. I mean, you always look to what's the next project, what's the next challenge, and I think you can never really rest on your laurels. You never really can stop to take a breath. You got to keep the pedal down and keep going, because it's a very difficult business to sustain.
Even if you're like number one, because the joke is that you're in every video game ever.
Yeah, well, they're still making them, so I gotta keep that up. You know how many great actors are doing it? I mean, you see like Troy and Troy and there's Troy.
Don't forget about Troy.
Troy, yeah. No, seriously. I mean, Troy Baker, Steve Bloom, Fred Tatasciore, Jen Hale. There's so many great actors out there. So, but fortunately, there's we're all fans of each other. We're all friends, and we're fans of each other. So, it's different than some of the on-camera business where it seems a little more cutthroat. There's always going to be plenty of opportunities, let's say.
Yeah, you're still in the on-camera business. You're in a couple of shows.
Yeah. I've just finished up. We're finishing up the last 10 episodes of Pretty Little Liars for Freeform. And Con Men is the new show with Alan Tudyk, Nathan Fillion, Mindy Sterling. Season 2 is out on Comic-Con HQ.
Nice.
And we're, fingers crossed for season 3.
Fingers crossed. Let's hope. Well, we were talking about voice actors. The only thing that comes to my mind right now is the voice actor strike that's going on. Could you explain that to people who don't necessarily know what's going on and who are fans of the art?
No, I can't, because it's way above my pay grade. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's ideas of bonus or residual content bouncing around. There's some things where they say that I'm not quite versed on all the issues, so I don't like to talk too much about it, because I would just be making something up. So it's I think both sides, producers and actors, want a they want a solution, and I'm sure they'll find one. Just sit down at the table and hash out the details and make it happen. I don't think it's fair to call one.
It's like point fingers and stuff.
Yeah, because everybody, one side's going to say one thing, the other side's going to say the other, and I think it's unfair because everybody has valid points on both sides of the argument. It's just a matter of finding a compromise, and I think unfortunately it's indicative of a lot of our society today. It's liberals versus conservatives, it's Republicans and Democrats, and I think we're more divided now as a people than we possibly have ever been.
Yeah,
and
we
it's and now in that kind of what we're seeing here in the video game actor strike is kind of a microcosm where it's an us versus them when we all it's a big collaborative industry and it's the best collaborative industry and hopefully we'll find a compromise soon.
Yeah, is that what was going through your head when you were accepting the award at the Game Awards?
Oh God,
last
you know
month?
what? I just was out trying to say thank you to the people. I mean, this Uncharted's been 10 years of my life.
10 years. Wow.
And it is just, like I said, a collaborative industry.
Yeah.
And it, while I did my part, there's hundreds of people who do their part on every game. And I was just, that award was kind of a culmination, I think, of what we had accomplished over 10 years with the Uncharted series. And that was just my platform to say thank you to those people. And that was fun how everybody had a good laugh with that.
Yeah, it was great. It was a fantastic speech. You deserve that award, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Talk about working on Uncharted for 10 years.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say before that?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Talk about working on Uncharted for the past 10 years. Yeah. That's like 10 years. That's a long time to be working on a 4-game franchise.
It's the kind of thing that you just can't believe you've been part of. If you could ever pinpoint an actor's big break, that was mine. People say, "Oh yeah,
not
but
General
it
Hospital."
Wasn't TV. Denver did General Hospital.
I'm sorry.
I did Port
what's it
Charles.
called? Port Charles? Okay.
No, well, that was a start.
All right.
That was a start to a career. But no, Uncharted has not only been a great job in itself. It was it's been a launch pad for other things. There have been some films I've done, TV shows I've done because they want. Oh, you're the guy who does Drake. Yeah, we
like
have a
Star
fan.
Trek.
Star Trek, Haven. There's just gosh, I'm blanking right now, but there have been others, and then of course in the gaming and animation, people are like, oh, I'm a big Uncharted fan. We're doing a new series for Netflix, animated series. Would you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And it's just a nice thing to be recognized for one thing, and then so much so that they want you to do their projects as well.
What kind of advice would you give to aspiring actors who want to be in your position?
Oh, wow. See, there's funny answers, and then there's this nice answers. Saline nasal spray is very good because you won't get sick. That's a good one, because if you're sick, you can't work. It's just the real answer. It's just perseverance. And you have to love what you're doing, whether you're getting paid or not. And you have to be. I was okay when I became an actor. I was okay with, if I'm going to bartend and I still get to do what I want to do. If I have to supplement my income somehow, if I'm, I might make, if I made any money as an actor, as long as I could do it. It was the process was the success.
Yeah.
Not just the destination. There's the journey, not the destination kind of thing.
I see.
And it sounds a little hokey to people, but I remember somebody telling me if somebody tells you that you're crazy, don't be an actor, and you listen, then you didn't have the heart for it. It's but if it's something that makes you happy, whether you're doing theater, whether you're doing television, games, whatever. I love it when people ask me, did you always want to be voices in games? There weren't voices in games when I was a kid. So, but it's interesting, I always thought, I'll be on a sitcom. That's what I want to do. And, I've done 2 episodes of a sitcom in the past. And now Con Man, I finally is my first real, more of a leading role as in a comedic sense. But
nice.
But it's interesting how things just sort of built. Con Man is another thing that came out of Uncharted because Alan Tudyk, we got to know each other and he cast me in that. So
nice.
you persevere, love what you do, whether you're making money at it or not. And if that fulfills you, then you're on the right path.
Wow, that's great. And what other upcoming works do you have coming? Video games, shows, anything?
Yeah, I can't tell you about any of that stuff. I can tell you that Con Man series season 2 is out. Con Man the game, which is my first time producing, is a mobile game.
Okay. I thought you were joking for a second. I was like,
no,
oh, great.
For Android and for iOS, you go to the app stores, the Google Play. You find Con Man the game, and what it is, it's a convention. You build your own convention. It's a
nice.
Sims type game, and Jerry Lansing, the characters from Con Man are in it, and
That's neat.
I also happen to voice all the aliens that attack you in the game.
Oh, nice.
They attack your convention, set a booth on fire, and you have to go battle them with your superheroes, which are the cosplayers. So, and we actually have fans in the game. We'll be running contests hopefully soon where we get cosplayers, then we'll animate them and put them in the game as well. So it's a lot of fun.
That's really neat.
Con Man the game.
I don't know how I haven't heard of Con Man before this. You think I would, right?
I'm very disappointed in you.
I know. I should go to my room. All right, guys. This has been the interview.
He really
with
should
Nolan
be
North.
going to his room.
All right. You want to do the outro? Fine, do it.
Hey, it's been Nolan North. And, okay, come back. Now I feel bad. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. I'm Desmond Miles, and this is my story.
Visit SacAnime.com for more details.